Hello dear students. Today we will discuss about third chapter class 12th history kinship caste and class. In this chapter through Mahabharata we are getting the information about 600 BC to 600 CE. Mahabharata is an epic. Through this we get the knowledge about social norms of that period. It is very important for us. We have to know the idea about the social norms and how the patriarchal society is going on. First question: explain the language and content of Mahabharata. The language and content of Mahabharata. We all know that ancient all Dharma Sutras is written in Sanskrit, so that language of Mahabharata is also Sanskrit, and it was not simple, it was little bit tough Sanskrit. Content history usually classify Mahabharata under two parts. One is the narrative section. In the narrative section, we discuss about the stories about Kauravas and Pandavas. The second portion is didactic section. The section contains prescriptions about social norm. That one is important for us to know about the social norm because these social norms still going on in society. However, generally historians agree that Mahabharata was meant to be a dramatic, moving story and that the didactic portion were probably added later. It means Mahabharata in the starting when it was written by Vedvyas, some historians were saying that Vedvyas had just collected the स्टोरीज फ्रॉम द सुथांकर्स चैरियट्स जो वॉर में जाते थे उनके थ्रू वो स्टोरीज कलेक्ट करके वेदव्यास जी ने लिखी है एंड डिटेक्टिव पोर्शन जो सोशल नॉर्म का पोर्शन है वो बाद में एडिट किया गया है. मेनी हिस्टोरियंस सेइंग दैट द मेमोरी ऑफ एन एक्चुअल कन्फ्लिक्ट अमॉन्ग किंग फोक was preserved in the narrative, while other point out there is no other corroborative evidence of the battle. Next important question इस chapter से जो आता है वो है explain how Mahabharata is a dynamic textbook. Mahabharata, we know that it's a Sanskrit version written by Vedvyasa, but it's a continuous changing as per the area. Several stories are added time to time in a certain place, but central story of the epic was often retold in a different ways, and episodes were depicted in a sculpture and painting. They also provide themes for a wide range performing art, play, dance, other kinds of narration. Mahabharata is a dynamic book and it's a providing many things like a baby continuously it's a adding the things, going on the things. Next important question: family relationship. In this chapter, we will discuss about patrilineal theory. Right now also we are seeing in society patrilineal theory is going on, in that the property is going to the son. Although Supreme Court has given the law, but what is going on? Generally, the property is dividing among the sons. That one is a patrilineal theory and that is going on. Next is a rules of marriage. We have seen different kinds of marriage during the time of Mahabharata, like polygamy, polyandry. It means one woman have several husbands, sometime one husband have several wives. Example, Draupadi and Satvahana ruler. Apart from these, endogamy and exogamy was also going on. In a endogamy, generally the marriage within a king, and in a exogamy, the marriage outside of king was going on. Rules of Gotras was also very important because women have some restrictions on that. Each Gotra was named after a Vedic seer. All those who belonged to the same Gotra were regarded as descendants. It means a woman have the same Gotra with the man. It means they are brother and sister. They can't marry. Women were accepted to give up their father Gotra and adopt their husband Gotra at the time of marriage. This thing is still going on कि सेम गोत्राज में मैरिज नहीं होती एंड आफ्टर द मैरिज वुमेन्स आर चेंजिंग देयर गोत्राज. जनरली जब कोई पूजा होती होगी तो आप देखते होंगे कि गोत्र के नेम का उच्चारण किया जाता है. गोत्राज मीन्स वी आर बिलोंगिंग टू दैट ऋषि एंड सीर्स फैमिली. द वैदिक सीर्स के नेम पे ये गोत्राज के नेम है. Next, ideal occupation. There were one system, that one is known as Varna system, and as per Varna system, the ideal occupations of the different caste is different. Like that, as per Brahm Dharma Sutra and Dharma Shastra, for Brahmanas, teachings, for Kshatriyas, kings and warriors, for Vaishyas, merchants and traders, for Shudras, laborers and servants. Apart from these, untouchables, those who were living outside of society, they were using discarded materials. Brahmanas were supposed to study and teach the Vedas, perform sacrifices and get sacrifices performed and give and receives gifts. Kshatriyas were engaged to welfare and protecting the peoples. They were busy in administration, justice. They were also studying Vedas. Vaishyas were also assigned to study Vedas. They were generally doing the production works like that, the merchant, traders, farmers. Sudras were laborers and they were serving higher three varnas. It means if we are belonging from Sudras caste, we have to serve Brahman, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. For the Chandalas, there were the different norms. They have always bell in their hand, ringing them. They were living outside of society, and they this rests on a notion that certain activities, especially those connect with the performance of rituals, it means Sudras can't perform the rituals. Those were sacred and by extension pure. Those who considered themselves pure avoided taking food from Shudras and untouchables. Next, compare between the Varna system and Ashram system. Earlier, I have discussed with you Varna system. In the Varna system, there were four castes: Brahman, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. In a pre-Vedic period, it was just depend on their caliber and work. Like that, right now, if you have talent and you want to be anything, you can pursue any occupation. But during the 600 BC to 600 C, it's depend on birth. इट मीन्स ब्राह्मण्स ने ये किया था कि अपनी कास्ट की सुपरियरिटी बनाए रखने के लिए, बिकॉज द धर्मसूत्रा, मनुस्मृति, धर्मशास्त्र रिटन बाय ब्राह्मण, एंड एज पर द ब्राह्मणिकल नॉर्म्स गिवन द वन थ्योरी कि ब्राह्मण्स जो हैं वो ब्रह्मा के मुख से, क्षत्रियास फ्रॉम द आर्म्स ऑफ ब्रह्मा, वैश्यास फ्रॉम द मिडिल पोर्शन ऑफ बॉडी ऑफ ब्रह्मा, एंड शूद्राज फिट से निकले हैं ताकि उनकी सुपरमेसी सोसाइटी में बनी रहे। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, ह्यूमन लाइफ को इस्टेब्लिश करने के लिए आश्रम सिस्टम्स बनाया गया था। इन दैट ब्रह्मचार्य, गृहस्था, वानप्रस्था एंड संन्यास। स्टार्टिंग टू 25 ईयर इज अ ब्रह्मचार्य, जहाँ की गुरुकुल में एजुकेशंस लेना था, एंड इट्स ओनली फॉर ओनली 3 हायर कास्ट, ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रियाज एंड वैश्याज। शूद्राज वर प्रोहिबिटेड फॉर दैट वन। गृहस्था 25 to 50 ईयर्स, जहाँ डोमेस्टिक लाइफ लीड करनी होती थी, अदर सोशल वर्क्स करने होते थे। वानप्रस्था, जहाँ नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को ट्रेन करते हुए हाउस में ही रहना था। एंड संन्यास आफ्टर 75, मोक्ष के लिए या नेक्स्ट लाइफ में जो कुछ अच्छा हो उसके लिए फॉरेस्ट में जाके तपस्या करना, चैंटिंग, मेडिटेशन, दीज थिंग्स वर गिवन एज ए इंफॉर्मेशन कि वहाँ पे आश्रम व्यवस्था लाइफ को बैलेंस करने के लिए, कि एवरी एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ लाइफ में क्या करना है उसको ध्यान रखने के लिए दिया गया था। थैंक यू, हैव अ नाइस डे। These were the important questions of chapter 3.